Young workers have faced some of the most appalling working conditions of any workers since the Industrial Revolution. From chimney sweeps to today's fast food workers, exploitation has been rife with abuse, underpayment enshrined in law, bullying, union breaking, all deep set into society. The struggle for young workers has always been an uphill one. These issues have only been amplified since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, with an already struggling economy and mass underemployment simply overwhelming all aspects of Australian society, in particular young people. It wasn't long before dole queues around the block were being broadcast to our televisions, friends and family skipping meals or being turned out by landlords onto the streets.
First in our investigation, we visited the Young Workers Centre in Melbourne, a group where young people give education on working rights and organise campaigns led by young workers.
But the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever.
Hey, thank you for meeting us, Adelaide. How have you been?
Yeah, good. How have you been?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, awesome.
So what is the purpose of having a Young Workers Centre?
So the Young Workers Centre is an organisation that was conceptualised by some of the leads here at Trades Hall, basically to fill a space. So we were getting less young people involved in unions every year and union membership was dwindling. And young people are also affected by some of the biggest issues in the workplace today. Young people are the most affected by things like casualisation, unemployment and underemployment. So we really moved in to fill that space, get more people involved in the union movement and also address a bunch of issues that are faced specifically by young people.
So what is the most common complaint you're hearing from young workers following the COVID-19 crisis?
We had a lot of people lose their jobs, which was a big issue, and a lot of people lose their jobs sort of without notice or all of a sudden. There's also issues around wage theft. So at the start of COVID, we sort of set up something to like a job in your boss relating to JobKeeper and how many employers were keeping JobKeeper basically and pocketing it and not passing it on to their workers. So just like any other time, COVID didn't really invent new issues. COVID just exacerbated the issues that were already in the workplace for young people, and that involved things like wage theft. Things like wage theft just got worse. Things like unemployment and underemployment just got a lot worse.
And what can young people do to protect themselves and ensure their rights are protected?
Young people need to get organised and get educated. Most of all, know what your rights are, know what the rights of everyone in your workplace are, get educated about laws and restrictions. I mean, that's a big part of the reason that we do our job and we go around to schools and teach young people about their rights in the workplace. Because we really believe that if they're educated and they can get organised with their other co-workers and they can provide solidarity with their co-workers and join their union and form a union within their workplace, then they can really protect not just themselves, but protect other people as well.
And what can governments do to look after young people now and in the future?
That's a really big question. I think there's some huge issues we need to tackle. We need to tackle casualisation, and we need to make sure that there's incentives and policy incentives in place to move people into part-time and full-time work. So we're really tying young people to workplaces and to full-time employment. I mean, every other young person I know is in 3 or 4 casual jobs and managing those together, and we can't keep going like this forever. Government really need to address the policies that are in place in our precarious economy and see how that's impacting young people. They need to stop putting in policies that displace unions and strip their power and strip powers of industrial action. And they need to keep putting in place things like unions and things like incentivising full-time and part-time work.
Following that cutting interview, we decided to catch up with the federal politician Bill Shorten to quiz him on the issues that face young workers, such as access to JobKeeper, JobSeeker, and the NDIS.
I think the NDIS is a great idea. If you are severely and profoundly disabled, you receive an individual package of support to suit your goals and aspirations. But the NDIA is making it harder to access the money. The Morrison government's making it harder. They don't do enough in non-English speaking communities or regional communities. They're also proposing a series of new assessments to re-interview everyone who's got a package of support, and this is making a lot of people very concerned. Well, I think that first of all what we've got to do is make it as easy as possible for people to stay in school, and if they're not in school, if they give them options both to university but also to TAFE. I think one of the hardest issues is the youth homeless allowance. That is for young people living away from home who are 22 or younger. They don't receive the same JobKeeper payment that people over that age get. Yet if you are living away from home, to pursue work or for whatever reason, you seem to get discriminated against. It assumes that every young person 22 or younger can stay at home. I don't have the answer to that yet, but I think that was one of the problems I really detected in JobKeeper and COVID. When a person working in Melbourne lost their job, their family may live in Bendigo or Ballarat, they either had to go home or starve.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong.
When the union's inspiration through the workers' blood shall run, there can be no power greater anywhere beneath the sun. Yet what force on earth is weaker than the feeble strength of one? But the union makes us strong.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong.
It is we who plowed the prairies, built the cities where they trade, dug the mines and built the workshops, endless miles of railroad laid. Now we stand outcast and starving mid the wonders we have made, but the union makes us strong.
Solidarity forever.